Good day, Mathinig people! Today, we will be talking about proving arguments on SDG using the rules of inference. Tara, matuto tayo! But before that, allow us to introduce ourselves first. My name is Kitty G. Perales, and together with my partner Judeline de la Cruz, we are your future math teachers, and we are currently studying at Carlos Hilado Memorial State University. Just like what I have said earlier, we will be talking about rules of inference. But first, let us know what does the rules of inference means. When we say rules of inference, they are logical principles that allow us to derive valid conclusions from given premises, ensuring that if the premises are true, the conclusion must also be true. Rules of inference may sound technical, but they're simply the step-by-step ways on how we use logic to reach valid conclusions. Here are the different rules that we may use, including addition, simplification, absorption, conjunction, modus ponens, modus tollens, disjunctive syllogism, hypothetical syllogism, constructive dilemma, and the De Morgan's rule. With the use of these different rules, we can strengthen and prove our arguments. In short, it's about using reasoning not just in math but in real issues that matter to our world. Speaking of issues, we will be using the SDG 1, 3, and 16 as our examples in proving the rules of inference. Now first, let us start with the SDG 1, no poverty. We have the argument, if the town establishes a farmer's market and allows low-income sellers to join for free, then small business owners will earn more income. If small business owners earn more income, then fewer families will struggle to pay rent or utility bills. This town establishes a farmer's market and allows low-income sellers to join for free, therefore, fewer families struggle to pay rent or utility bills. We have our variables P, Q, and R that represents the preposition. Now, what we're going to do is to translate the given hypothesis that we have into their symbols, and let's start it with the first sentence. If you would base it from our variable, we can say that if P, then Q. Changing it to its symbols, we have P implies Q. On the next sentence, basing again from our variables, we have if Q, then R. Therefore, the symbol goes like Q implies R. Then, we have this sentence, which if you can recall, this is our variable P. So we're just going to put P in there. Lastly, this statement is what we're going to prove, the statement R. So now, we already have the statement that we need to prove, we already have our given. Next, we will use the rules of inference in order for us to obtain R. And by using hypothetical syllogism from 1 and 2, and by substituting our variables based from the rules, we have now P implies R. Now, if you can see, we can also now prove our R using modus ponens of 4 and 3. By substituting our variables, we have P implies R from the number 4 and we have P from the number 3. Therefore, we have R. And there you have it. We have already proven our argument number 1.
Hello, this is Judeline. So now, let's proceed to SDG 3, Good Health and Well-Being.
So we have an argument, if schools implement a no homework policy on weekends, then stress levels among students decrease. If stress levels among students decrease, then the average number of hours slept per night increases. School implement a no homework policy on weekends, therefore the average number of hours students sleep per night increases. So we had a variable R, W, and F. With this variable, we can translate this into arguments.
So we have here the given, and it states that if schools implement a no homework policy on weekends, then stress levels among students decrease. And that is R implies W. And another, if stress levels among students decrease, then the average number of hours slept per night increases, and that is W implies F. Another, we have given schools implement a no homework policy on weekends, so that is R. Therefore, the average number of our students sleep per night increases. And we wanted to prove F.
So base here, we use absorption. What do you observe? In the given number 2, we have W implies F, right? So by the use of absorption, the concept of absorption is that P implies Q, therefore P implies P and Q. So here, in our given problem, we have W implies F, therefore W implies W and F. Let's proceed to modus ponens. Modus ponens, P implies Q, P, therefore Q. In our given, we have R implies W. From 1 and 3 given by modus ponens, we can conclude that it's W. We will use again the modus ponens, the same concept. So here, from the given 4 and 5 by modus ponens, W implies W and F, W, therefore W and F. So we have here W and F, therefore it's W. So here, we have the given 2 and 7. By using modus ponens, we got F. So in this argument, we prove F.
SDG 16. Peace, justice, and strong institutions. We have the argument. If civil society groups have complete and up-to-date access to public financial audit reports, then government accountability improves. If government accountability improves, then petty corruption in local services decreases. Civil society groups have complete and up-to-date access to public financial audit reports. Therefore, petty corruption in local services decreases.
So our variables are Q, R, and S.
Now, as we have been doing for the past two arguments, what we're going to do is to translate the given hypothesis. We have to translate them into their symbols, and let's start with the first sentence that says, if civil society groups have complete and up-to-date access to public financial audit reports, then government accountability improves. And by looking at our variables, it's if Q, then R, therefore Q implies R. Next, we have if government accountability improves, then petty corruption in local services decreases. It states that if R then S, therefore we can say that R implies S. Then, we have civil society groups have complete and up-to-date access to public financial audit reports as our variable Q, therefore petty corruption in local services decreases. And this is what we need to prove, the variable S.
From the given 1 and 3 by modus ponens, we can conclude R. So from the given 2 and 5 by modus ponens, we could conclude it's S. So we prove S here.